Hey everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books you can pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can start placing those pre-orders. That way, when these books come out in a few weeks, you won't miss out on them. You'll already have your name on them. And yeah, this is a pretty decent week. We're looking at books going anywhere from mid-December to all the way up into early January.
Yeah.
So this is a widespread, and that reminds me, you'll be seeing that more coming up as Marvel for a couple of weeks. Will be even like 6 weeks out or whatever it is. They'll get further and further out, so you'll be seeing way more of us talking about 1, 2s, and 3s before even the number 1s come out.
Yeah, that happens around this time of year.
Yes.
It seems like Marvel is the most egregious one with how far out it goes, but...
Yeah, we'll try to make note when we can about, hey, this one's really far out, because you'll be placing your orders and think, oh, this isn't coming out for a while, but it is time to get those orders in for those. So, without delay, let's get into it, and we're going to start off with our Prime Comic pre-orders. And starting off with a really cool one, and this one is a January one.
Yeah, so this is Knull. Oh, yeah, let's go to View and Zoom and fit image to window. Sorry about that, folks. We have a new laptop, and we had to reset everything up, so apologies for that there. But yeah, Knull number 1, and like Andy said, this does come out on January 14th, so this is 2 months out.
Yeah.
But it is on FOC this weekend. So this is written by Al Ewing and Tom Waltz, and the art is by Juan and Ramirez. And in this one, Knull has been weakened from his last death, his previous death, and he's trapped by the enemy he never expected, which we saw in, I want to say it was Venom, at the end of Venom number 10, or was it Venom 250?
I think it was 250 that was had the extra story.
Yeah, we saw that it was Hela, who is going to be the Queen in Black next summer. We don't really know much about that yet, but he's being held in a cage again, because he was the first time. He's being held in a cage by Hela. His captors thinks that he has nothing to fight back with, but in Knull's hands, nothing is a weapon, which means that even nothing is a weapon. Not, in Knull's hands, nothing is a weapon, because
I can't do anything.
I can't do anything with any of this stuff. No, in his hands, even nothing. Even he can even turn nothing into a weapon. And there's a greater weapon out there waiting for the King in Black to take it and take his revenge. So, Knull fans, buckle up and get ready, because Knull is coming back in a couple months. And who knows what it'll lead to. Actually, this is going to lead to that Death Spiral Spider-Man event in February, I think, and then the Queen in Black stuff next summer.
So it does sound like this is almost going to be like a year, or at least half a year event. That's going to kind of be one event, one little series that hands it off to another series.
Yeah, even if it's not like an event, like Knull is gonna be a presence for several months next year. So this is our A cover. We have a black blank variant. We have a Clayton Crane variant. There is a Iban Coelho variant. Iban Coelho, who did a lot of work on King in Black and the Venom series, where the Donny Cates Venom, where he was part of. There's a Mike Walsh foil variant, and there's a Raphael Albuquerque variant.
That'd be cool if just the bars are silver and it looks like he's behind him. That's very cool. And that's kind of the scene we saw at the end of that, where she's kind of lording over him. Well, next up, we have another addition to DCKO All Fight Month. This is Harley Quinn versus Zatanna, and this will be out December 17th. So December is the All Fight Month, so you can expect all of these within December. And this is round 5 of 8, and we talked about this on our Wednesday show, our shorter show. But when we were like, why are they calling them different rounds? Don't they all kind of happen at the same time? Where I've seen it most important that you read them in order is actually the backup stories, which follow what's going on with Booster Gold and the characters that are outside of the tournament.
Which were those? Was that in our preview copy that we have? The Booster Gold stuff?
Yes.
Or was it? I don't remember. I'll have to go back and read it again.
Yeah, because if you read the number 1, you know that Darkseid has possessed Booster Gold.
I remember that.
That story plays out in each of these Fight Month books. So that is why you need to kind of keep an eye on which they will have those on the cover. You see at the bottom, this is round 5. So read those in order because of that. If you don't really care too much, and I think you could probably be okay to skip around, but to get the, exact story, that is how that goes. Not a whole lot of information about this one, so I'm really excited to be surprised by what kind of arena they're going to be in, how they're going to be fighting. But I think this is one of my most anticipated ones. This is by Leah Williams and Mirka Andolfo on art. This is going to be so much fun. We've got our A cover here by Jorge Corona. We've also got a Frank Cho variant, which I love that. We've got a Jamal Campbell cover where they're even popping off of their books.
I love that. Especially, Jamal Campbell had the great Zatanna series.
We've got a Mirka Andolfo, so that's your interior artist. And we have this one was just revealed. It was MIA for a long time, but this is the David Nakayama cover. That really cool.
Looks great. Well, to go along with that, we have Titans number 30. Now, the Harley Quinn Zatanna book, that is its own one-shot. Mm-hmm. This is actually Titans number 30, so this is part of the ongoing Titans series. And this is round 4. So we actually, like we did on Wednesday, we should have flip-flopped these, but this is round 4. And this is going to feature Cyborg versus Swamp Thing. Now, there's not really anything in the solicitation about this story. I guess you don't really need anything. It's just Cyborg versus Swamp Thing. If you do look ahead to one of the variant covers for number 3, it tells you who wins all these.
You can figure out who wins all of these from future variant covers, but I'm along for the ride.
Don't do that. Yeah, it's like it's less about who wins and more about how do they win. Yeah. So I think that's I'm looking forward to this. Like you said on Wednesday, technology versus nature. So I think this is going to be cool. So this is just another. So by the time these 2 books come out, we'll be over halfway done with the Fight Month books. There's going to be 8 in total. So this one's going to be cool as well. Oh, and this one is by John Layman and Pete Woods, who is your creative team on Titans.
Now, this coming week on Wednesday is that issue 29 that comes out?
Yes. Yeah.
Which that is still dealing with the evacuation of Earth and all the threats that are still kind of hammering the Earth during that. So it does look interesting that you've got that going on, and then it's going to kind of take a side to this fight.
Yeah.
But I do think that you, like you said, with a lot of these, because this is in the Titans book, it will have a bit of the Titans story going on in it as well. And I will say there is something at the end of Titans 29 that kind of leads into this.
Okay.
But I also think if you're just reading the All Fight Month, you could probably pick this one up, no problem.
Yeah, and I'll be talking about Titans 29 on Monday. Andy's going to be gone next week, so I'll be flying solo on Monday, but I'm definitely going to cover Titans because DCKO.
Yep.
So this is our A cover. We have a Brad Walker cover. There is a Mark Spears cover. There is an Edwin Galman cover and a George Cambadius cover.
Yeah, I think this one's cool. Where his metal is made of flora.
Yeah. And Swamp Thing is all
metal.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
that would be pretty cool. Well, next up we have our X-Men Age of Revelation finale. Now, later on in the show, we'll be going over some of the other tie-ins with Age of Revelation, but we wanted to put this one up front because this is kind of the big one-shot that is wrapping up the main event that's been going on. It was started with the overture and now is ending with the finale. This is going to be by Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman, who did the overture. So these are the bookends, essentially, of the Age of Revelation event. Now, we're going to see a lot of fallout from this going forward in some of the other X books. We know the Shadows of Tomorrow, all of that stuff they're going to be doing, is kind of a reaction to things in here. But for the story, I think that does take place X years in the future and all that. This is where that ends. So not a whole lot of info about this one, especially because they probably don't want to give away because we still got quite a few more tie-ins to go.
Yeah.
But I am very interested to see what is going to happen in here and setting up a lot of really cool stuff, it seems like, for Cyclops. So this is our A cover. We also have a Tony Daniel cover and a Marcos Martin variant.
Next, we have Sorcerer Supreme #1. This is from Steve Orlando and Bernard Chang, and this is following on the heels of the end of One World Under Doom, which the end of that comes out next week as well.
And I did already read that, and there is a little bit that does lead into this.
Okay, interesting. it says that after rescuing the Cloak of Levitation and the Eye of Agamotto from the ashes of Doom's fall, which I guess, again, he's going to fall in the next issue of One World Under Doom. Scarlet Witch has chosen to claim a new title, Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, and that's fitting. I guess she can carry that mantle. Wanda is willing to defy tradition, break every rule, and chart a bold new path. One that the Vishanti aren't exactly happy about. Will this rogue Sorcerer Supreme bring magic in the Marvel Universe to new heights, or leave it in ruin? Probably the former. I don't think she's going to destroy magic or anything like that. But it will be interesting to see Wanda as the Sorcerer Supreme.
I do have a question about this because she kind of, it doesn't seem like anyone elects her to be Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, right.
So I wonder if there's going to be others gunning for it, maybe not happy that she took it up, by herself.
Yeah.
So I think this could put her at a kind of at odds with other characters.
Yeah. I really just wanted to be like a job interview. And just say, okay, do you have your resume?
Yeah.
We need some references.
Her resume would be kind of all over the place.
Right. So let's see. I destroyed mutants for a while, and that's a bad thing. So this is our A cover. There is a Devmalia Prominic cover. That's your Moon Knight artist, and he's great. Yeah. There's a Jeff Shaw Winter Break cover. There is an In-Hyuk Lee 3-part connecting magic variant, but this doesn't connect with other issues of this book. I think one of them is the Doctor Strange book that comes out in December, and
I think we've already seen the other two.
I think the other one is the Wiccan book, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a Rose Besh variant and a Russell Dodderman variant.
Well, next up, we've got a new miniseries for Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, The Bad Batch Rogue Agents. So this is by your team that did the previous Bad Batch one, Michael Morrissey and Reese Hannigan and Elizabeth D. Amico. And this is set during the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch is back when a separatist scientist and his dangerous invention go missing during the Clone Wars. Clone Force 99 is sent to track him down and prevent the device from falling into the wrong hands. But when Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair, and Tech arrive at the scientist's abandoned lab, they quickly realize that they aren't the only ones on his trail, and that his mission will be different than any they've ever faced before. This is a 4-issue miniseries, so some more Bad Batch in comics, which I am always for. Such a great series. Looks like they're going up against a Rancor, so check it out if you are a fan. We've got our A cover here. We have a Riley Rossimo variant. How awesome is that?
I like that big guy in the back.
Yeah.
Is that somebody?
That's Wrecker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cool.
Yeah, he's really fun. And we have the Reese Hannigan variant as well. Or as Omega calls him, Rika. It's got a New Zealand accent.
Oh, gotcha. Next up, we have Wrestle Heist #1. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries written and drawn by Kyle Starks. And in this one, a former pro wrestler who has a brush with death thanks to a crooked promoter, he assembles a crew of fellow wrestlers that he screwed over to rob that crooked promoter blind during the biggest wrestling event of the year. So it sounds like a little bit of a revenge story. I think the first 3 issues of this to preview, but I haven't got a chance to check them out yet. But this one should be a lot of fun, especially for you wrestling fans out there. This is our A cover. There's a blank cover, and there is a Kyle Starks Youngblood team up variant.
I like the diehard shaft at the bottom.
Yeah,
just look freaked out.
I want to read a whole Youngblood series that looks like that. Yeah.
Well, next up, we have a new book from Mad Cave. This is The New Space Age. This is by Kenny Porter, and the art is by Mike Becker, who did this cover here. This is about a disgraced astronaut, Mark Mitchell. He's only had one true mission to find his little brother, Joey, who was abducted by aliens from a crop circle when they were little. But when Mark's hotshot piloting skills gets him grounded and the last of the public space program defunded, Mark loses on his only means of finding Joey out in space. Until Mark's homemade scanning rig discovers the shocking truth about the crop circles, their instructions for space travel. Mark will need to uncover the hidden messages that have been left on Earth for years and reverse engineer the magic that can finally help him find Joey. So I think this sounds really cool, that crop circles were always kind of invention map things and all that. So
and there's been a few preview pages of this in some of the Mad Cave books that came out, I think, this week and maybe even the week before.
Yeah, it looks really, really fun. And I love these kind of space adventure stories. A little like Flash Gordon and all that. But we've got our A cover here by your interior artist, Mike Becker. And we have a Kari Randolph cover.
And next up, we have the Marvel Winter Break Special. This is from Tony Fleeks and Tim Seeley, with art brought by Nick Bradshaw, and some other creators are in this as well. It just says, hit the slopes with your favorite Marvel heroes this winter with the help of a team of superstar artists. Then warm up in the hot tub, the hot springs, the hot yoga, lots of places that start with the word hot. And fret not, true believers, we've got equal parts action and relaxation for your money in this one-shot. So this sounds a lot like the one-shot that came out, I think, over the summer. I don't quite remember what that was, but it had a story to it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the fashion one where the Wasp was going to redesign costumes or something?
A lot of the recent kind of like seasonal ones or whatever have actually been really fun because they are a big story.
It's an actual story, yeah.
They did the swimsuit special.
That's what it was.
She was designing their swimsuits.
And the Punisher, she gave the Punisher like the little Speedo with the skull. He's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is going to be in that same vein with a story wrapped around some fun. So this is our A cover. There's a Gerardo Sandoval nullified variant. There's a Ivan Talavera variant.
That.
I like that. And then there's a Nicoletta Baldari variant.
Yeah, I love on the A cover, too. Looks like they're in the Savage Land, and I'm always for more stories in the Savage Land. Well, next up, we have Big Event Check-In, and even though we're getting the Age of Revelation finale, that doesn't mean that the tie-in books are over, because they're going to be coming out on December 24th, day before Christmas.
Yep.
And the other one comes out in January. So
well, no, the finale comes out December 31st.
Okay, so the next week.
The next week, yeah. So all of these tie-ins come out.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting the finale before the miniseries end. So we're going to kick it off with a cool one.
Yeah, this is X-Vengers number 3. We haven't gotten number 2 yet, but I did like the first issue. The clock is ticking to save the human and mutant worlds alike. What has reawakened a technological apocalypse? And we saw a little bit of that at the end of the first issue. And can the X-Vengers, which they're not called the X-Vengers in the book.
No, that's actually like a bad thing to call.
They take that as an insult, what can the Avengers put a stop to while fending off... Wait. Can the Avengers put a stop to it while fending off both Revelation and President Sam Wilson? I'd like to see more of that, please. Here is the... and all of these, are all 3 issues, so all of these number 3s are the ends of these tie-ins. Yep. This is the A cover. There's a Sergio Davila variant and an Edwin Galman variant. I like that one a lot.
That one's really cool.
Yeah. I like the way Cannonball looks in that.
Yeah, kind of a movie poster style. Well, next up we have Cloak or Dagger number 3 of 3. Another one of my favorite ones. Yeah. I really hope we get a Cloak and Dagger series from this creative team after this, because I think this has been a big hit. A lot of people really enjoyed seeing Cloak and Dagger back. And in this one, also, this might not make 100% sense like a lot of these because we haven't got issue number 2s yet, but the Fenris twins have cornered Cloak, and it's not looking good. Dagger has one final card to play, but using it could tear our heroes and what's left of the fabric of reality apart for good. So we do know that they can't be in the same place at the same time, and we saw the Fenris twins at the end of the first issue. So just continuing here with the final issue of that. This is your A cover. We have a Todd Knock variant, which love seeing Todd Knock do this. And we have a third one, which I do not have the artist listed for.
Sorry about that. We have Expatriate X-Men number 3. And in this one, Melee, Bronze, Rift, Colossus, Miss Marvel, and the crew of the Dragonfly face Darkchild herself. And I think that's interesting that Colossus is going to face off against his sister.
Yeah.
That's pretty... Because Colossus wasn't in the first issue at all.
I know. On every cover.
Right, yeah. Darkchild wants something that they have, and she has something that they want. Why don't just trade?
Yeah.
You don't have to fight about it. But just when they need to band together most, their group of insurgents is being torn apart by lies and deception. We saw a little bit of that in the first issue. Will they escape with their lives or be swallowed by the whims of the Limbo Lands? Which is interesting because we saw a little bit of that in Amazing X-Men number 2.
Yep.
So, these puzzle pieces are kind of fitting together.
I do like that a lot of them are kind of intermixing and using the same characters.
Right, yeah. So this should be cool as well. This is our A cover. There's a Yoon variant, and there's a David Baldeon variant.
Next up, we have Undeadpool, issue number 3. And this one also doesn't make a ton of sense, but again, we'll figure it out because Cable just popped up at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
But Wade Wilson and Fearless reached their goal. And I forgot Fearless survived the first one?
I think she was the only one.
The only one that survived, sure. Yeah. But will Expatriate X-Men complete their mission or fall to the uncontrollable urges of Undeadpool? So it sounds like the Expatriate X-Men are going to be in this one.
Well, because in the first issue, this group of mutants that the Undeadpool was stalking, they were trying to get to the flotilla from the Expatriate X-Men. So again, more tie-in, sort of connecting like a puzzle.
Yeah, it's funny it doesn't mention anything about Cable, but looks like he's also going to be playing a role in this as well.
Well, just because he's on the cover doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot.
In the last page of the first one, and I want to see more Cable.
For a half second.
So we've got our A cover here. We have a Paco Diaz cover. That one's really cool. And we have an Acco variant. Those shoulder pads, those are good.
Man.
Well, next up we have more Essential Comics because there's even more stuff to talk about this week.
Yep. We've got Ultimates number 19. Doesn't number 18 come out next week?
Yeah, I read that a little bit earlier. Yep.
So in this one, Wasp has been a double agent for the Maker's Council in the name of protecting her family, but now with the Maker emerging, her treachery must be answered for. So that's been a little bit of a dangling plot thread that they haven't talked about in a while, so it'll be good to get a little bit of resolution on that. This is our A cover. We have an Inya Klee Ultimate Special variant. I really like that. And a Stefano Caselli variant.
Yeah, and there's a little bit that sets up what's happening in this in the issue that comes out
next week.
Okay. You'll be talking about that on Wednesday, but it definitely does feel like this is now narrowing down, getting ready for what's going on with the Maker. And you'll see that in...
Well, this actually comes out the same day as Ultimate Endgame number 1.
Okay, so this is going to...
And actually, you know what, now that I say that, Dennis Camp actually tweeted and told us which one we should read first, and I don't remember.
Oh, well.
I think it's this first, and then...
It sounds like this one.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're, like... I feel like once the Maker comes out of his dome... That's it. Like, that is then the focus of everything.
I'll try to find that, and then on Monday's show, when I'm talking about Ultimates number 18, I'll let you know what he said about which one to read when.
Well, next up, we have Absolute Flash number 10. I just read number 9 earlier, and it's really interesting because they are really setting up some cool stuff. The deeper Wally goes into Fort Fox, the more mysteries appear for him to chase, and whose voice is that calling to him? And we know we're about to get this big thing where they kind of go through the portal into another world. And a little bit of that is set up in issue number 9. And then it sounds like issue number 10. I almost wonder, is Barry really gone? Or did he get sucked through the portal? And
he was a pile of bones in the first issue, so maybe.
Or did he become created by the Speed Force?
Maybe.
But I think there's some really interesting mysteries in this. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Haining variant. We've got a Clayton Crane variant. That's issue 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 where he fought.
I think it was like 6 or something.
Oh, was
like
it?
That,
okay. And then we also have a Joe Quinones variant.
Next up, we have Barbaric, The Long Death number 1. This is going to be a 3-issue miniseries, just continuing the really cool run of various barbaric stories that we've had over the last couple of years. And in this one, our heroes slaughter their way ever closer to the answers to their big questions. Owen learns all about his curse, that is the whole premise of the whole story to begin with. Soren learns about her curse, and Axe gets drunk. And that's all you need to know. Barbaric is great. I'm behind on a few of the different volumes that have come out, but I love the premise, and I love what I have read, so I'm looking forward to this. This is our A cover, and there's a Brett Bean cover. That's really cool.
That's really cool. I wish we could show the incentives for this, but it's of the Axe. And it's one of the most detailed looking. It's so cool looking. Well, next up we have Thundercats Holiday Special 2025 number 1. Thank you.
Well done.
This is by Ed Brisson and Fabio Gallo. It's a night to remember. While on a mission in the snowy mountains of Third Earth, the Thundercats stumble across Snowman, which I love Snowman. He was one of my favorite just designed characters. The last of his people on the eve of the Festival of the Claw, a day of celebration, food and gifts, and a time for Snowman to pay tribute to those he's lost. With no others of his kind remaining to pass his traditions on to, Snowman shares the cats who understand all too well the need to persevere in the face of overwhelming loss. Meanwhile, just outside of Snowman's mountaintop village, Queen Tartara's royal guards are preparing to use the holiday as a perfect opportunity for a surprise attack. But even on this hallowed occasion, not every Thunderian has let down their guard. So it sounds really cool. I was expecting like a, I don't know, either an anthology or something that's just like lighthearted, but no, like bringing Snowman into the Dynamite Thundercats universe in this one is really cool because he was a pretty big character in the original animation. So this sounds really cool. If you're reading the ongoing Thundercats book, you'll want to pick this up because it does sound like it's got some, some actual story beats to it that they could play off of.
And I love Queen Tartara's sauce. I love to dip fish in it.
Yes.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's crazy that moved from Third Earth to First Earth.
Great recipe.
So we've got our A cover here. We have a Fabio Gala variant. That's your interior artist. We have a Robert Quinn variant. And looky there, there's a blind bag.
Oh, man.
Dynamite is going all in on these blind bags. We're not showing them all here because a lot of books are going to have them, like Vampirella and many more. The blind bag is actually $15.
It says this bag contains 2 Dynamite variants?
Yes, I believe they do contain, well, yeah.
2 books?
Yeah, I think it's the same book, but like 2 variants for that book.
Well, yeah, two different, like, so you get this issue twice.
Yes.
With 2 different covers in one blind bag?
Yeah, which I didn't really understand, like, the thought process behind it, but I hope some people here order some, because I want to see what's inside of them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe you can look around online. I couldn't find, like, a list of what they are, or are they the incentives, or whatever. I'm sure there's some info online as we get closer to this being released. So, don't really know what's inside of it, but yeah.
Okay, so, sorry, let me make a note here. And this is Voyeur. No.
Oh, it put Roots of Madness instead.
Did I grab? Oh, I grabbed it. I grabbed the wrong cover.
Screens.
Okay, sorry about it. I could have sworn I grabbed Voyeur. Anyway, this is supposed to be Voyeur number 3. I'm going to blame the new laptop. It messed up.
Okay.
It wasn't me. So this is supposed to be Voyeur number 3. And I don't even know when Roots of Madness is on FOC, but it's not this week, right?
I think it is.
Is it?
I think both of them are.
Is it on our list?
Nope.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're supposed to be talking about...
computer grabbed the wrong screen.
We're supposed to be talking about Voyeur number 3. And in Voyeur number 3, we know that the art thief Rook and also Madeline, they have kind of started working together. Well, they start to sort of like play off of each other because... they are at the Code Kingfisher Resort, and when the guests leave their rooms, Rook enters on the sly, stealing expensive paintings from the walls and replacing them with fakes. That's what he's been doing there in the first place. But now that Madeline's involved, she decides to speed up his process by luring the unsuspecting victims away from their rooms to give Rook the time and access he needs. But can Rook handle the jealousy that her scheme fuels within him? So
she might be like tempting people out of their rooms.
That's right.
He's like, hey, I thought we had something.
Yeah, so...
Okay, now tell me about Roots of Madness.
I don't have any notes for Roots of Madness because it's not on the list.
Huh.
I don't know how that happened. I swear I pulled it up. Because we had to do these ones, we had to download these ones manually. I don't know how that happened. But, I mean, here's all the covers. Okay, shoot. I guess
you can try to get around that.
Well, anyway, there's 2. Check the website. There are 2 covers for Voyeur number 3.
This is a really smart way of actually getting people to check the website.
That's right. Yeah, we planned this all along. So sorry about that. So this is the cover for Roots of Madness number 3, and then there's another one as well
for Roots of Madness number 3. The cover.
But those aren't Voyeur. So check the website for the covers to Voyeur number 3.
Yeah, but also Roots of Madness is a great book. I think issue number 2 came out this week, I believe.
Don't remember. Maybe.
Yeah, I believe it came out this week, and so we've got 3 right here.
That's one of the biggest mistakes that we've ever made on this show. I can't believe I got the wrong covers. Yeah, I know, right?
I've made much bigger ones. Speaking of, we've got Youngblood number 2. So, Youngblood number 1 came out this week. I saw a review that was great, and it's like, it's exactly what you think it is. If you're coming into this new Youngblood thinking you're going to get a radical new take on Youngblood, no, this is about as true to original OG 90s Youngblood as you can get.
If you went into Youngblood #1 thinking you were going to get a story, nope.
Maybe we'll get that in #2.
Hopefully.
There's part of me that really enjoyed reading #1 just for, like, it feels like a lost issue of Youngblood that I never read years ago, with all of your favorite characters back. But we did see in #1 that Supreme returns, and he's bringing the family with him. Suprema and Kid Supreme join Youngblood in the struggle against the mysterious Xerxes. What is he doing? Why is he doing it? Nobody knows.
Don't worry about it.
But he's on a yacht.
Yep.
And this is interesting. All roads lead to the day of the Destroyer. Who is the Destroyer and what is that day? We don't know anything about that. #1 didn't mention it, but maybe #2 will. I do respect we got into issue #1 and it started off with action all there. Actually really like the first page where we saw
the
Savage Dragon
with the classic characters,
Spawn and all that. That was awesome.
I did like the last page. I was interested in the last page and where that might go.
Yeah,
and we'll see more of that in issue #2. But
yeah, I'm here to read these as long as they're coming out. So this is your A cover. There's a lot of covers for this. We've also got a Liefeld variant with Supreme and Xerxes back there. We've got a Dustin Weaver cover, which is really cool.
It looks really good. I like that.
I don't know, it makes the team look really distinct. We also have a Tyler Kirkham variant.
I like that one too.
We have another one of the Rob Liefeld manga black and white editions, which actually is not just a variant, it's the interiors are also black and white.
They're like black, white, and red, basically.
Yeah. Because there's also red in them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's red. Black, white,
there
red.
is red in it. Yeah,
okay.
We also have some second printings. I want to just go ahead and put all those together here.
New Mutants 98 is on FOC. Oh, wait, my bad.
This is... I looked down like I needed to see who the artist was.
Right.
This is the Rob Liefeld cover for the second printing of #1. And there's a Virgin variant homaging himself from many a year ago. There's also a trading card variant with Vandal, who... Is that a new character, or was he in the original Youngblood?
I want to say he was in the original... I don't know if it was Youngblood or Brigade, but I want to say... he's not new to this. I think he's been around before.
He did appear in the first issue of this. And they're also doing a Treasury edition that's going to be $19.99. So that's going to be one of your big old books.
Yep.
If you want to see that art really up close, if you want Bad Rock to be almost actual size, pick this up for $20.
And then we have Groupies. This is the trade paperback. Why is this up here in this section?
It's a graphic novel. It wasn't individual issues.
Oh, it's a graphic. Okay.
It
says trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is from Helen Mullane, and Tula Lote is the artist. And on a wild night out at the Fox Club, the coolest, hottest, and wildest girls on or off the strip meet the edgiest up-and-coming band in town, and sparks fly. The Moon Show stardom is about to rise as they celebrate getting signed to the legendary Asmodeus Records. As the story unfolds, the excited groupies head on tour with the band, living the dream, but their tuned in and dropped out idol is about to unravel. Something dark is pulling the strings, and the girls are about to discover the true cost of rock and roll. So, this sounds like, this is going to be for folks who really enjoy music and punk and rock and things like that.
But also, this sounds like a supernatural twist.
Exactly, yeah. It's got a little bit of darkness to it as well. And there was another book that, what was that? Was it the Def Leppard or?
Well, there was also one that was about...
It was the cursed guitar, and the daughter got the guitar, and it was it was like a monkey's paw kind of thing.
Yeah, I like those, like the music and the price of fame.
The price of fame, yeah. So this sounds like one of those.
Yeah, so if you were a fan of, what was the distillery book that Tula Lote worked on with Becky Cloonan?
Was it Somna?
Somna.
Yeah.
This is 50% of Somna, the art in here is Tualote. I think it's going to look beautiful, and if you've seen some of the sample art that Tualote's put out there, this looks really, really cool. Yeah. And I think it's cool that Mad Cave is doing like some graphic novels.
Well, that's what confused me, because they don't do a lot of just original graphic novels, and then right here it says trade paperback, so I thought, wait, I don't remember this series, but yeah, so this is a graphic novel. This is $19.99. I don't know how many pages it is, but it's bigger than just a regular 22-page comic. I mean, it's going to be like a graphic novel. It's going to be like a trade paperback size, but it's an original story.
Yeah, very cool. Well, next up, we got continuing stories, and we're going to start off with...
Oh, this is Die Loaded number 2, and not a lot of information in the solicitation for this one. It just says a party separated. Can they find each other? Can they find themselves? And we saw that near the end of the first issue, somebody was... transported into the game world, and it seemed like maybe she hadn't been there before, but she knew about it. And I'm guessing that some of her friends from the real world who were in the game world before are going to have to go in and get her. But yeah, this made me want to go back and read the full first series. I only ever read a little bit of it, but I like the first issue, and I want to go back and catch up. This is our A cover from Stephanie Hans, who is your interior artist, and there's a Justine Franny variant.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, next up we have Ghost Pepper, issue number 6. Now, I was under the impression originally that this is a mini-series.
I thought it was.
But this one says this starts a new story arc with issue number 6.
Fine with me.
So unless it's like a 12 issue or something, but...
Yeah.
The way this was set up, I feel like there's tons of story here.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's a big world, lots of lore. There's a lot of stuff they could do with it.
Yeah, there's no way they could wrap up some of this stuff in just 6 issues. So in the aftermath of the first major battle, Loli brings Ash and Jiminy to her home village, which has been overrun by a corrupt mayor and his augmented henchmen. Sounds awesome, and this series has been great. I want this to be like one of the ones like it gets to issue 100 and we've got tons of characters.
Oh, that'd be great.
It just feels like this world could handle that. So we've got our A cover right here, and we have a Gia Domenico variant as well.
This is G.I. Joe number 16. This is part 4 of 5 of the Dreadnought War. There's one more part to go after this.
2 comes out
next week. Yeah, that's right. Because this is bi-weekly, so the Dreadnought War is coming out every other week. G.I. Joe and Cobra are on a collision course with the Dreadnoks and whatever remains of Duke and Cobra Commander, which it looks like everything's remaining except their clothes. So this is our A cover. There is a Zonjik cover.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. And a Ben Oliver cover, which they've been doing one of these for all the Dreadnoks for this series.
Yeah, and I got to skim through the issue that comes out next week. Very cool. Some cool stuff shows up.
Oh, nice.
Well, next up, we've got Harley Quinn X Elvira. This is issue number 3. Issue number 2 comes out next week. And next up, Transylvania. Harley Quinn's plan to throw a borough-wide Halloween party in Brooklyn to save Elvira's canceled TV show is shaping up nicely. And by nicely, of course, we mean total chaos, facing a distinct lack of legitimate investors on this side of the Atlantic. Harley and her reluctant partner in crime have to broaden their appeals, that meaning courting old world money, and money doesn't get much older than the moldering family's fortunes found in certain European crypts. So let's go find Dracula.
Right.
This sounds really fun. I really like issue number 1. So if you check that out, definitely pick up issue number 3. We've got our A cover here by Amanda Connor. We've got a Chad Harden variant. We've got a Linsner variant. And a Ben Caldwell variant. It looks like Power Girl's going to be part of this.
And next we have Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum number 5, and this is the final issue of this series. Back in Metropolis, Superman must stand face-to-face with it actually says the Man of Tomorrow must stand face-to-face with the Man of Today, talking about Lex, and decide for himself, finally, whether Lex is right. Does home hurt too much? I don't quite understand what that means. But I think Superman has already gone through the gamut of colored kryptonites, the new ones that he found, and now he's going to have to face off with what Lex has been doing while he's been going through all these crazy experiments and stuff like that. So yeah, this should be a lot of fun. This has been a great series. This is our A cover, and there's a Juan Ferreira variant. That's a pretty night and day difference from what the book normally looks like.
Well, next up we have Superman Unlimited. I think this issue sounds awesome. Guest starring Green Lantern Guy Gardner.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks to Toyman's Kryptonite generators, Earth is finally ready to mass-produce commercial, faster-than-light rockets for the planet's richest 1%. And who wouldn't want Earth's multi-billionaires traveling among the stars? Everyone, but every single being in the entire cosmos. It's up to Superman and special guest star Guy Gardner to save the launch of Simon Stagg's new space yacht from one of the deadliest cosmic beings in the galaxy.
Okay.
So you got some Simon Stagg in there. Maybe you get a little bit of Metamorpho.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
This feels like a cover from the 80s, your classic, like, guest starring Guy Gardner, and they're going to be at odds. Like, I love those
classic team up issues. So we've got our A cover right here. We have a Nathan Zerdy variant and a Zafino cover.
And this is 1776, number 2. Number 1 came out this week, and it was pretty cool. The solicitation for this doesn't really tell us anything specific about this issue. It just kind of talks about Morgan Le Fay's plan. She's hell-bent on a world without the United States and a world without the Avengers. And it just talks about how Doctor Strange sent a team of heroes back in time to deal with it. Cyclops and Invisible Woman were not in the first issue. I don't know if they're going to pop up in this or not, but that's false advertising. But everybody else is there. So yeah, I don't really know what to tell you about this second issue in particular, other than it is on FOC this weekend. So this is our A cover. There's a Pete Woods nullified variant. Give me like a nullified George Washington or something like that. There's a Phil Jimenez homage variant, homaging himself on that Amazing Spider-Man
cover. He's homaging himself from the previous issue, which was homaging himself.
Yeah, and there's a Phil Noto cover as well.
Is that?
I mean, that looks like a colonial hat. Maybe
that's nullified.
Is that Ben Franklin or not? Paul Revere.
It's Paul Revere.
Yeah, it's Paul Revere.
Give me that story.
Yeah, nullified Paul Revere. Okay.
I've been to his house. Yeah. Next up, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 18. I think 16 comes out next week because we're back to the Norman Osborn story, which is what also comes out next week. Yeah. It's hard for my brain with the Space Spider-Man story and the Norman Osborn Spider-Man story. In this one, everyone is trying to take down Norman as Spider-Man, even Spider-Man's allies, which, I mean, that's fair. I mean, Norman's been more bad than good in the history of Spider-Man. And someone or something is hunting goblins, and they're about to spring their terrifying trap. So I like this idea of like a goblin hunter coming into here. We got John Romita Jr. back on art for this. Do we know how long this back and forth is going to go on?
I do think that sometime around February, because when they talked about the Death Spiral event, which is just in the Spider-Man corner of the Marvel Universe, I think that's going to come around in like February. So I think maybe we have another couple months of this, which I'm enjoying the Spider-Man in space story. So I wouldn't mind if that lasted for a long time. But they did mention Peter coming back from space, facing off against Hellgate, learning about Mary Jane and Venom again. And I want to say that's February-ish.
So maybe they'll kind of remerge.
Remerge, probably, yeah.
So we've got our A cover here by John Romita Jr. We have a Ben Sue Disney Stitch Unleash the Holidays variant. We have a Corin Howell nullified variant with Spider-Boy. Yep. We have a really nice Lee Bermejo. I mean, that's like a poster.
Yeah.
And we have a Simone DeMeo Winter Break variant with MJ.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
This is Marvel Knights The World to Come number 5. And in this one, the fate of the world is in Katama's hands, and that's not a place you want it to be. And it says, what happened to the heroes? And we got a little bit of a taste of that in issue number 4 that came out this week. Not, still some questions. It made it sound like the heroes disappeared. Where did they go? We don't know. So hopefully those questions will be answered here. But the next issue comes out. This isn't the last issue. I think this is the next to last issue. Okay. This is our A cover, and there's a Giuseppe Camuncoli variant.
Next up, we have Supernatural, issue number 3. This one sounds like a lot of fun. It's all fun and games until somebody gets turned into a zombie. Sam and Dean find themselves in a small town in Massachusetts where a group of live-action role players have recently survived a mysterious attack in the woods that left one of their members missing. Determined to save their friend, the LARPers are heading back into the forest for a new adventure, but this time they'll be armed with real weapons, as well as the hard-won occult knowledge of the accompanying Winchester brothers. So, I'm sure Dean will think they're really cool. Not really. Sam will be cool with them, but Dean will make fun of them the entire time. But this has been a fun series. We've only got the first issue, but I'm really excited to see where this goes. We've got our A cover here. We have a photo variant of some handsome boys, and the Ken Hacer FOC bonus variant, which I want to see them face off against Krampus. Yep. That'd be cool. I'm almost surprised the show didn't do that.
Never once in like 14 years?
It feels like something they would have done. They did a lot of really weird stuff. I don't think they would fight them with candy canes, but... Well, next up we got Cover Gallery and some really cool covers to show you.
We're starting with Batman Superman World's Finest number 46. 45 comes out next week. Yep. Also, I believe, starts a new story arc. But this is the Chuma Hill variant, and there's an Adrian Gutierrez variant. That's your interior artist, and he's great.
That giant Joker fish is awesome. Well, next up we have Catwoman number 82. Frank Cho's been doing so many of these covers for this series. So this is the Frank Cho cover. And we have a Derek Chu cover as well.
And this is Justice League Unlimited number 14, the Steven Subic Glow in the Dark variant.
Yes.
And this is a DCKO tie-in.
Yeah, so this is one of those where you gotta
order it ahead of time
because it's the glow in the dark.
Yeah, and we, this is on FOC this weekend, but this doesn't come out till December 24th. So, but yeah, you got to get your orders in for this one early.
And next up we have Nightwing issue 133. This is their Dustin Nguyen cover, and we have an Elizabeth Torque variant.
And this is Wonder Woman number 28, the Greg Smallwood variant.
It's doing Wonder Woman and those really cool Batman covers.
That's right.
And next up, we have Predator Kills the Marvel Universe number 5, the Dyke Ruin Hunting the Hunters variant.
This is a matchup I want to see. I've been enjoying this series, and bringing the Punisher in, yes, please.
That feels like that should have been almost its own miniseries, like the Predator versus Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, and this is, speaking of Punisher, Punisher Red Band number 4, the Kari Andrews variant. Number 3 comes out next week, and I'll talk about that on Monday as well.
That's very Punisher War Journal with the headband, like the Jim Lee era of Punisher.
Love that. It's classic.
Yeah. Next up, we have Spider-Man 94, number 4. This is the Justin Mason nullified variant. So what would Knull look like if he was in the original Spider-Man 94 series? Yep. Like this.
And this is Uncanny X-Men number 22, the Ben Sue variant. There's also a Clayton Crane variant and a Simone DeMeo X-Men trading card variant. That doesn't really look like a trading card, though.
Maybe it's not final trade dress, so it'll probably end up having
like the borders,
like this one, yeah. Next up, we have Star Wars issue number 8. This one's really cool. They've been doing the kind of Master and Apprentice Jedi Knights covers. This is the Bengal with Luke and Leia. And we also have a Star Wars Boba Fett Black, White, and Red number 4. This is the Luke Ross variant. And next up, we got Bookshelf, and there's quite a bit on this one. Some really cool collected editions.
Including the Absolute Power trade paperback. Now, the hardcover for this already came out about a month ago or so, but now this is the trade paperback. This is going to be $19.99 and collects the whole Absolute Power series.
Well, next up, we have our next DC Compact Comics. This is Batman the White Knight. Of course, this is the Sean Murphy, the Murphy-verse. This is what kicked it off with Joker turning good and Batman maybe going too far. So one of the biggest sellers, like even still, I recommend this to people to pick out.
It's a cool story, yeah.
So if you want some amazing art and some really interesting story, check this one out. Like all of them, it's $9.99.
This is DC Finest Batman, The Case of the Chemical Syndicate. Now, this is cool for those of you who want to read like the very beginning Batman stuff, because this collects Detective Comics number 27, which is his first appearance, through 52, and then Batman number 1 through 5, and then World's Best Comics number 1. So this is the start of Batman right here for $39.99.
If you want to see Batman just being a horrible person, the early Batman, he's He holds guns. And
I was going to say, if you want to see Batman use a gun,
he he doesn't necessarily kill, but he does not stop people from falling off of things. Yeah. Well, next up we have another DC Finest. This is Wonder Woman Enter the Cheetah, and this one's great. This is, of course, by the creator of Wonder Woman, William Moulton Marston, and this collects Cheetah's first appearance in the Golden Age, like the Golden Age Cheetah, and more tales from the early 1940s, including the never-before reprinted Wonder Woman of history backup featuring features written by Alice Marble, collect Sensation Comics 19 through 34, Comic Cavalcade 3 through 7, and Wonder Woman 5 through 9. So this is kind of like your second volume of the DC Finest Wonder Woman.
That's right, yeah.
Still the early stuff, introducing some of her key players, and this one's going to be $39.99.
This is cool. This is the Joker, the Bronze Age Omnibus. Now, this is going to be $125, and this is going to have this is various issues. It's not just one story, but we have writers like Elliot S. Maggin, Denny O'Neil, Doug Minch, and others. We have artists like Jim Aparo, who is one of my favorite Batman artists, Irv Novick, Joe Stanton, and others. And this is going to collect all of the Joker's major Bronze Age appearances, so a lot of good 70s stuff. Including the never-before-published Joker number 10. He had like that 9-issue miniseries, and there was a 10th issue that was never published. We're also going to get like a bunch of issues of Batman from like the late, like from about 250 to 260 on into the late 290s and 300s. There's a bunch of issues of Brave and the Bold. There's some issues of Detective Comics, DC Comics Presents. There's a Justice League in here, and then there's that 10-issue Joker miniseries. So a lot of good Joker stuff from the 70s. Which, you know, it's a lot of this has been collected before in various trades, but you know, it's those trades are out of print. The issues are hard to find. So this, you know, Joker fans, especially Bronze Age, definitely grab this one. I think I've already pre-ordered this.
One of the scariest eras of Joker is the Bronze Age.
Yeah, so I've already pre-ordered this. I can't wait. And like
so that 10th issue has never been printed.
Right.
Is there anywhere people could have read that before?
I want to say you can read it digitally. I think I remember buying it on Comixology a long time ago. It says never before published. I think maybe it's been reprinted, but it was never published originally. I'm not 100% sure on that.
This may be the easiest way to get that now. It will be in this. Yeah. And because that Joker series, not long enough to have its own omnibus, it's cool that this is, you know, it fits right here in that era of Joker. Well, next up we have Superman Unlimited is finally coming out in a collected edition. This is Volume 1, of course, by Dan Slott and Raphael Albuquerque. This collects issues 1 through 6. There's going to be a hardcover of this for $29.99 and a softcover of this for $19.99.
And this is Daken Dark Wolverine Omnibus.
This is cool. Yeah, I was buying this series as it was coming out.
So this is going to be $150, but has a whole bunch of different stories with Daken, issues 75 through 90 of Dark Wolverine from the series that started in 2009. It's got some stuff from the Dark Reign era, Wolverine Origins, like just a whole bunch of a whole bunch of Wolverine stuff. A couple issues of X-23,
a couple issues of
Frankencastle, Dark Reign the List, Daken Dark Wolverine number 1 through 23 that started in 2010. So a whole bunch from that, you know, like mid 90s to early 2010s era, which was a pretty good era for Marvel. All in one book for $150. This is the Giuseppe Camuncoli direct market cover, which is only available in comic book shops like ours. And there is a standard edition cover from Lionel Francis Yu that you can find in bookstores everywhere.
Yeah, this was, I was reading this during like Dark Reign.
Yeah.
And
I like that era.
Going, you know, when he joined the
Dark Avengers.
Dark Avengers, when Norman had the Dark Avengers, all that was really, really cool. So yeah, this is a really fun Marvel time.
Yeah.
Some of their biggest events were going on. Next up, I'm really excited about this. I own almost every version of Invincible that has been printed, from the single trade paperbacks, single issues, all the way up to the big like complete collections. But this is the first time they're getting an omnibus. Now there's a compendium out, but this is hardcover with a brand new cover by Ryan Ottley. This is going to have Invincible issues 0 through 47.
which is the same issues that are in the paperback compendium if you're keeping score. And I have those as well, but I'm going to be getting these.
Now, does the compendium contain Marvel Team Up 14, which is the Spider-Man Invincible issue?
I don't think it does. Okay. So that's what's a little bit more special about this one.
So, to break this down, this collects the first 9 volumes of Invincible. Invincible ran for 139 issues, so this will probably be like the compendium's 3.
Yeah.
So very cool. Very excited about this, and you can get it for $125. I'm sure it's still got all the same bonus content and all of that, but I actually would really like to have this in a hardcover.
Same,
big hardcover.
So I'm going to be upgrading my paperbacks to this.
So also what's nice, you got the brand new A cover here by Ryan Ottley, and also you can get this direct market exclusive cover by Corey Walker, which was the cover. I think this is actually the cover of the reprint that was in the Battle Beast blind bag, because it has a slightly different color to it. It's a little bit more gold. And both of these are at $125. Next up, we got just a couple of new printings, but one of them very cool.
Yeah, this is Sensation Comics number 38, Facsimile Edition. I don't remember the significance of this one, but it's a holiday special.
It's a holiday issue, and I think just because it comes out on December 17th, reprinting a Christmassy issue.
Festive, classic Golden Age Wonder Woman story.
Yeah. I like how her costume's like, I still wear shorts, but I put a little wool around them.
Keeps her warm.
Yeah. And we also have Planet She-Hulk at number 1. This is the Matteo Lolli second printing cover, which was the foil cover where her whole sword was foil, but you can get it not foil here. And if you didn't read number 1 of Planet She-Hulk, it was great. We still have some on the website, but if you want this second printing cover, it's right here. And that is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can start placing your pre-orders for these books. Very important you get your orders in. That way we know how many to order and make sure that you get what you want when these release, like we said, from mid-December on up into January. So yeah, we're already talking about some 2026 books here. Very exciting. Make sure to like and subscribe, share the video, all that good stuff here on YouTube or wherever you are watching it. And stay tuned for our Monday show, where I'll be there for part of it. We've already filmed our review for Batman Deadpool number 1, which definitely check out. It is awesome. But I'm going to be out of town, but I wanted to make sure I got in to talk about that book. So you'll see that, and then Matt will do the heavy lifting for the rest of the show.
Next week is a huge week. It's a very bad... It's bad timing. It's a bad week to be flying solo because there's so many books coming out next week. I'm going to try my best. Please bear with me.
Nope. But I'll be back, and I'll be back on the next Comics from the Future, so I won't miss any of those. But again, thank you so much, and until next time, see ya.